This is the story of a person who was born in 1893, but had the mindset of someone living today. So hang around and find out about her. It's a fascinating story.
And don't forget, come up and see me sometime.
In the Roaring Twenties, a woman emerged who would redefine comedy, sexuality, and the very nature of stardom. Her name was Mae West. Mae West was more than just a movie star. She was a cultural icon, a trailblazer, and a woman ahead of her time. In this golden age of Hollywood, Mae West was known for her sharp wit, provocative demeanor, and groundbreaking roles.
You were wonderful tonight.
I'm always wonderful at night.
From her early days on the stage to her iconic film appearances, West pushed boundaries and challenged norms. Her unapologetic sexuality and refusal to conform to traditional female roles made her a controversial figure, but also a beloved icon. She was born Mary Jane West on August 17, 1893, and became a major star in vaudeville and on Broadway before transitioning to Hollywood, where she became one of the most controversial and highest-paid actresses of her time. In addition to her striking acting skills and stage presence, she wrote many of her own scripts and was a shrewd businesswoman who understood the entertainment industry and negotiated favorable terms for her work. In the 1920s, she was arrested for her sexually suggestive play, Sex. Instead of being ashamed, she used this as a chance to become famous.
I wonder what kind of a woman you really are.
Too bad, but I can't give out samples.
She created the character Diamond a little while in prison, and this made her a star. West became known for her rebellious attitude and bold performance, making a symbol of female empowerment. West's film debut in 1932's Night After Night quickly propelled her to stardom. Her iconic on-screen persona, with her sultry voice, suggestive lines, and glamorous appearance, made her a sex symbol of her era. She starred in several successful films, including She Done Him Wrong, I'm No Angel, and Belle of the 90s, often facing censorship due to her provocative material. Instead of shying away from controversy, she used it to her advantage, famously saying, "I believe in censorship. I made a fortune out of it." Her films are credited with single-handedly saving failing and debt-ridden Paramount Pictures from bankruptcy in the early 1930s. Even after her film career waned, West continued to perform on stage and television. In 1966, at the age of 72, she released the rock and roll album Way Out West, which unexpectedly reached number 116 on the Billboard Hot 200 chart. This surprising success made her the oldest woman to ever have a solo album on the chart, a record that stood for decades.
What's the good of resisting temptation? There'll always be more.
She had a distinctive style, often wearing glamorous and extravagant outfits. She loved to wear diamonds and luxurious gowns, which became part of her signature look. Despite her glamorous image, Mae West was a hard worker. She wrote many of her own scripts and was heavily involved in the production of her films, and was one of the first women to do so. Once when she was scheduled to play a theater in New Haven, Connecticut, the theater's management refused to let her go on because her act was too risque and canceled the show. Disappointed, Yale University students rioted and wrecked the theater.
I am delighted. I have heard so much about you.
Yeah, but you can't prove it.
After 2 years of denying that she had ever been married, West admitted in a reply to a legal interrogatory in 1937 that she and Frank Wallace had married in 1911. During her divorce trial in 1942, she testified that they had lived together only several weeks. She always wrote her own plays and also the script for her first film. Has published 2 novels, written the lyrics for several songs composed by Ralph Reiner for her film She Done Him Wrong, 1933, and in her spare time did sketches and material for other performers. During World War II, United States Navy and Army pilots and crewmen in the Pacific named their inflatable life vests after her, supposedly because of her well-endowed attributes. The term Mae West for a life jacket continues to this day. Also, the Coca-Cola bottle was said to have been designed with Mae West's figure as inspiration. She appears on the sleeve of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. West at first declined to be pictured on the cover. What would I be doing in a Lonely Hearts Club? But reconsidered when the Beatles sent her a handwritten personal request.
Your bath is ready, Miss Lou. You take it, I'm indisposed.
She was ahead of her time in terms of health and fitness. She followed a strict diet and exercise routine, which included lifting weights and practicing yoga. She was famous for her morning enemas, which she claimed made her skin like silk and left her smelling sweet at both ends. On the set of her last film Sextet, co-star Tony Curtis claimed that she was given an enema after being made up at approximately 11 o'clock in the morning, as the last step of her preparations before going before the camera. According to Tony Curtis, her famous walk originated while beginning her career as a stage actress. Special 6-inch platforms were attached to her shoes to increase the height of her stage presence.
Who'd want me after what I've done?
Listen, when women go wrong, men go right after them.
She was banned from NBC Radio after a guest appearance in 1937 that was loaded with flirtatious dialogue and double entendres. She returned to the network as a guest on The Perry Como Show in 1949. She lived in the Ravenswood Apartments in Hollywood for over 50 years. Her apartment was famously decorated in an opulent, old Hollywood style, complete with mirrors, chandeliers, and plush furnishings. One of her boyfriends and lifelong friends was the African-American boxer William Jones, nicknamed Gorilla Jones. When management at her apartment building barred him from entering, she solved the problem by purchasing the building and lifting the ban. At one point, her chauffeur was Jerry Orbach, who is best known for playing Detective Lenny Briscoe on all 4 Law & Order television series. Mae West had a fondness for parrots and kept several as pets. She even trained them to say some of her famous lines.
Come up and see me sometime.
She died of natural causes on November the 20th, 1980 in the wake of a mild stroke she had suffered 3 months prior that had left her speech impaired, and is buried in Cypress Hill Cemetery, Brooklyn. Like me, I hope you found Mae West a fascinating person. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and comment so you can keep up to date with our new videos.